Okay. Kind of just like... The alpha will be getting left behind pretty soon, for anybody wondering. So once this official thing is like out of alpha and then it's like ridiculously biased. Where's the feral sense? We'll leave it on. All night? Day? I'll leave the feral scent on all the damn time. That would mean I'd have to intervene or have to beat them up anyway, so feral sense means that they'll know exactly where I'm at. Because it's like heat vision or something like that. I'm not sure if it's nighttime or if it's daytime, but whatever the case is, it's some kind of time in the game.
Ugh. Or maybe one about a crippled cyborg who all he did was pussy ache about being a crippled cyborg. Well, keep looking. F-Zero, you got the product.
Oh my god. That's on me. Feeling sick. But I don't care. Anyways, if it gets pretty bad, I'm probably not even going to be available. At least not mentally. Okay, that's Spy Cakes versus the Kraken. Okay. Now apparently zombies gonna have feral sense, so this means that even if I wanted to hide, I won't be able to. So I kicked up the difficulty a bit more. The name of this place is called Hobo Heights Apartment. However, there are no hobos here. Pew 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 do 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 do. And yes, I am just gonna play that soundtrack. Damn, fatty. Oh. Rocket launcher. I'm a robo. A robot hobo. Get it? Pew 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 pew. You know, as big as this rocket launcher is, it would actually probably match up with the same rocket launcher in the BMP2. Considering this is broken open, there should have been a crashed car right there, but it's completely missing. So, who knows what happened here. It Literally fill in the blank. Says explosive damage increased by 10%, 50%, reload speed 10%, faster aiming, 50% chance to stun enemies, 5% chance to dismember. So my only question is, if it says demolitions expert, does that apply to whatever it is I have, or is there a specific skill that goes to the rocket launcher? Or is it under intelligence? No, this is batons. Influence perks are pretty good. Athletic perks, stealth perks, combat perks, combat perks. These are all combat perks. And these are also combat-based perks. If you're a Wobbly, then you probably know that you're probably feeling sick right about now. I have yet to see any more feral losers, so who knows? I've already been inside of this burnt up building over here because I raided the place. And I've been inside of this dump right here too, so I've pretty much raided these two buildings here based on memory. This building has also been raided. Yeah, it has. The only thing I didn't raid, I think, was the semi-truck outside. Oh, not bad. I don't know why, but I'm getting this weird pain feeling on the front of my head, but it's not from sinus. I remember robbing this building when I first came here. But this is all off footage related business. Well, whatever the case was, looks like I ran out of bullets for that. $10 says the floor falls through. Okay. Oh, nice. sense of hearing is so good that I can actually tell what direction they're coming from. Pew 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 pew. Collect all the junk. I have to put the sand away right there. No wake up call for them? Okay. No wake up call for these losers. Remember to always double tap, never leave anyone, you know, still plausibly standing. And no, that's not a Zombieland rule, that's just simply common logic. Double tap has always been around since before Zombieland. So if you think double tap is from Zombieland, it's not. It's literally on a post-apocalyptic guide to survival of the zombie apocalypse. Always double tap your targets. Even the military says even double tap your targets because you never know if they survived, you know, being shot in the head. And that is true. You never know if the individual survived being shot in the cranium. So, you know, double tap your targets. Basically never let it be one-sided. Oh, nothing to twist and turn here. Okay. Oh, look at the server system right here. This one burned out, yet it still looks like it's running. Hey, look at the one next to it. It's a little more cleaner than the other one. Fortunately, I got them Jordan hops. Yeah, if I had known, I could have just went around like that instead of going through that whole complicated passage. Could have spared myself like 10 boobless minutes of looking like an idiot. Or I could be pretty much based like SpongeBob. Be like, Squidward, we already did babble like a jackass. Hello? Damn, lady. Get a breath mint. There was a pretty good chance she would have rejuvenated. Because you never know. Get him away, robot. call him Old Shark Sharkowski. Oh, holy shit! Fuck! Jesus Christ! There. Nobody saw that. Bink. I got plenty of cornmeal. No slideshow, just a blinking light. No plans on how to counteract the zombie invasion. Well, I'm gonna have to throw some of these items in there until I can pretty much stuff it elsewhere. Until further notice, I'll go ahead and look inside of here. Anyways, I'll be doing this for as long as I can possible, even though I really feel like growing up right now. Actually, almost threw up right there. Quick shortcut. Uh-oh. The last place I want to be is in a crematorium in the middle of the night. Where are you, dumb drone? Pew, 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 pew. Right in the stick. Look, man, you guys, line up. Back up, homie. Go, Holmes. You're disrespecting the ride. Goddamn fan club. Oh yeah, hit the brakes. Hope that helped Fatty's attitude problem towards me. Look, man, is there a problem? Because you Hey dog, if you can't afford the freaking hostility policy, then you can't afford the health insurance that comes with it. Which is none. Ha ha ha. away, fatty. Like I'm gonna let you attack this place. I'll take one big glob of bile and this whole place comes apart. Turn that on for the time being. Okay. Loot. Ammo. Resources would be like coal and stuff like that, so put the coal in here. Egg there, pie over here. Meds, testosterone over there, resources, cobblestone over here. I think I have tree seeds in there. No, I don't. We'll put the tree seed in there anyways. And the weapon modifications we'll hang out here. Okay, that's everything. Let me pick up my car. I guess that works. Got plenty of 9mm ammo since I went on a shopping spree the last time I played this game. Did a couple of jobs at another town. Didn't create a safe house or whatever, but I did build up the ammunition. So I guess it should hold out. Should probably build more bulk ammo of the other kind. I can make bulk high-powered ammunition. I seem to be lacking bulk for the other type. I need to complete sniper class in order to get the bulk of that. God damn it. This requires completion of everything associated with that. Shotgun Messiah, let's see. Headshots have a chance to stun and a greater chance to dismember. After that, it says you can craft a ghillie suit, bulk craft all 7.62 ammo. So I need sniper bulk number 3. I'll have to add that to my list. And yes, I've been playing this game long enough to actually get a majority of this. It says this, Lucky Looter, and then if you get the 4th book completed, you get the perk Lucky Bastard. You're one lucky bastard. This tip is the best of them all, so save it for last. Enemies have a 20% higher chance to drop loot bags. 20%. However, enemies are more prone to dropping loot bags by giving them headshots with rifles. Especially from greater distance, it has a higher chance of generating it. Then this is the Hunter's Journal. The perk for completing the Hunter's Journal is harvesting. Learn to harvest 100% of your kills. Harvest more bones, meat, and leather from animals. This also includes testosterone if you're harvesting a bear. Then bar brawling gives you the 7th curse. Unleash your inner chi with this ancient martial arts technique. The 7th unarmed strike landed in a short time does 300% damage. So if your base damage of your fist is 14, that basically means that by the 7th strike, your fist is doing 3 times 14. Like 60 damage. Is it 60? That's about like 54 damage. Finishing moves do 20% damage to knockdown and stunned opponents. So that gives you an extra bonus. Recover health in combat with every punch. So if you like basically beating them up like you're a freaking professional boxer, you'll get your health back. It's kind of risky. Batter up. It says reading all the books unlock permanent perks. Read all in volumes and seriously see a special offer. 10% more clubs. Sprint with a club drawn in combat uses 20% less stamina. Power attacks. Power attacks to the legs slow your enemies, meaning it actually cripples them for a minute. Power attacks increase the chance of a knockdown. Bats and clubs to go 20% slower. Ragdoll your enemies. And the chain modification for bats. And then it says this. Home run. The thrill of killing. The thrill of the big hits. Pump you full of adrenaline. It gives you a boost in stamina. Power attacks that kill your enemies refill your stamina meter back to 100%. So it's kind of worth it. The batter up handbook if you're into bats and stuff. And then with automatic weapons, this applies to anything that's automatic. Which I think even if you put the automatic mod to it may also include that, which also includes pistols. So if you got a handgun, you put the automatic mod to it. Even if you kill them with the automatic mod included, this may switch your gun from semi-auto to automatic. So it really depends. But it's pretty good. Use the fury of combat and adrenaline to close the distance on your enemies. Each kill boosts your run speed by 20% for 20 seconds. So let's say that you kill a total of 7 enemies. That's 20% times 7, and then you add 20 seconds to each time you did it. Kind of keeps you running for a little while. The drum magazine is your best friend, so if you manage to discover that, you know, it's kind of worth it. But it only goes on machine guns. I don't think the pipe machine gun can get the drum mag, but I know it can get the extended mag. Just not the drum magazine. Now originally the sniper rifles, meaning the single shot rifles, originally used to get the drum magazine. And believe it or not, this rifle you see me holding here, the 7.62 Dragunov, is not the original sniper rifle that used to be in the game. In fact, there used to be 2 of them. There was one that looked like the Scar rifle, and then there was this one. Then it went over from looking like the Scar and switched over to looking like the MK11, known as the MK mod, and it stayed like that for a little while. I know it wasn't a mod I was using because for a while I was playing vanilla, so the sniper rifle, like top tier sniper rifle, had changed for a while. They include the use of a lever action rifle in the game in order to give you a rifle that provided firepower and boasted a unique reloading feature. I don't know why, but that happens quite a bit. Even at the insane difficulty I have it on, I seem to survive pretty well. I've even had it where there was literally no loot refill, meaning the area didn't respawn any new loot. That one was ultra hardcore, but I managed to achieve completion of all my perk books by looting out every town. So essentially over time it became useless, even with the added increased difficulty. Is this a challenging game? Yeah, if you're looking for a challenge, I recommend it. If you're looking for an extreme challenge that will require an incredible amount of thought processing power, try the Darkness Falls mod. And that's even if it is supported on this version. Every time the Darkness Falls mod gets updated, it does get updated for this version, and it also usually receives extra content. So If you like extreme difficulty, the Darkness Falls mod takes it to a whole new level that would usually make your head spin. No snap, I didn't even notice that. Having to complete the Furious Fist quest. Once you complete that, you get Knuckle Wraps and Steel Knuckles. Which is literally like turning a Swiss Army pocket knife into like a fist punching weapon. You got all your utility items, including a wine bottle opener on that weapon. You're essentially socking the shit out of your enemy with a wine bottle opener. She got dome. Hold on, while I jump on here. Nobody's over there? How about over here? Is there anybody down there? Practically on a hunt, and I put their feral senses for all day, so what's taking them so long? They're supposed to be frothing at the mouth, having rabies looking for me. And I have the difficulty on insanity. What gives? I did count the systematic function of literally, and I quote unquote will tell you this, I literally counted every setting and read into it. I can increase the horde size, like for horde night and stuff like that, but it doesn't increase random hordes that randomly spawn in. Excuse me, man, you're too ugly. You're just a nasty, cheesy, pasty brain. Let's look closer into that. Yeah, these guys did really good on the modeling on the human brain on this guy. He had like a skull bashed in. That's probably what happened to him. And you can see all of his decayed teeth and like high quality. You can see the inside of his mouth had rotted away a little bit. His tongue is absent. His eyes indicate they're flushed with whatever color that is there. So like that dude he was in terrible condition. He probably survived in the beginning, but then slowly, pretty much fell slowly. So he probably had a craptastic time surviving. And you got Homie over here. He didn't make it. You can tell he didn't make it. Look at how torn up he is. This dude probably didn't make it when the pandemic got worse and then it just turned into a full zombie apocalypse. He probably got stampeded by the public as they were all panicking. This dude got stampeded. He probably had his leg broken from all the people running in terror and then got his face chewed out. You know, he had a visit with a grizzly bear or something. Now that dude, he was straight feral. His eyeballs were glowing like he was a light bright. You see, that's a straight feral enemy. However, enabling feral sense doesn't guarantee feral objects or targets. So that's like one of the things that I know of. Enabling feral sense doesn't guarantee me feral enemies, which it also states there. Enabling feral sense doesn't guarantee that the enemies will spawn in with feral senses. So it doesn't guarantee it. All it does is increase their aggression level and increases their search time. But if you absolutely stay still long enough, they'll forget you exist. But they won't leave the area. They'll patrol the area they last saw you in until daytime happens, and then they die of a stroke because the sunlight came out. No, I'm serious. They will die of a stroke. Now, feral sense can double their damage, increase their strength at night or in the daytime, so they have a higher chance of stunning the player. So that's really all it does. It just increases their power. Which kind of reminds me of a Dragon Ball Z joke. Which was involving Vegeta and Lord Frieza. You haven't seen the full extent of my power. I have ascended to a power far greater than you. And then he droned on for about, what was probably 11 minutes of him talking about how he became a Super Saiyan, only for, Vegeta to get ragdolled by Frieza's tail. Essentially. He didn't even use his hands, if I wasn't mistaken. But then there was a parody of it. Like, how dare you hit me with your tail? And the parody is like, that ain't my tail. So, that's also another thing. There's a parody of that scene online. It does make me laugh. Why am I carrying all this gunpowder with me? I thought I dropped it all back off. I guess not. Put that away. Don't need a laser sight on me. Yes. Can I put it on there? Oh, fuck yeah. I got a laser sight on a bazooka. Like it really needs a freaking laser sight on a rocket launcher. Why not? I'll put it to good use. Found a battery. Okay guys, looks like I'm outside of a shut down 7-Eleven. Now 2 things that I can say are your best friends. 1, convenience stores can be your best friend as long as you're the only person inside of the building. 2, if you know there are individuals who have keys to the establishment, make sure that you make your presence known if the building hasn't opened up yet. Triple tap them. Not gonna double tap them in the skull, it'd be pointless. But yeah, other than that, it's like uber easy for me. Now the Darkness Falls mod is unpredictable, but I will tell you, there are some giants in that mod. And then there's this thing called like the Demon Lord or something like that. Like you can literally find. And then one of the mods, or one of the updates of it, they legit added the devil to the game. So, in order to defeat the devil, you need to use, I think it's called Bullets of Liquor or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I knew I faced a creature that kept regenerating all his health, and the more you shot at him, the more health he regenerated, and the higher it got. So the real way to really only deal with that guy was with the rocket launcher, dynamite, and the minigun. Literally the only way to deal with them. Rocket launcher, minigun, and dynamite. And yeah, you were gonna blow up an entire neighborhood with dynamite in order to handle that guy. I know there are other mods, but I think in one of the mods it added Sephiroth. And then there's also another mod that I believe adds Sephiroth's sword. That really long sword he has, and you could be standing from right over here, specifically right here, and you can kill the enemy standing right here where this tree is at. And that's how long the reach that sword had. They also had a couple of them, like the Dragon's Blade, a few of them, which is also in the Darkness Falls mod. It's like uber weird. Would I recommend, modding 7 Days to Die? Sure, I'd recommend it because the modding community is pretty big. I'd recommend it if you've gotten bored of playing vanilla. Of course, installing the mod takes time and it takes a lot of effort and understanding of where you're supposed to put the files at. Now, some of these mods actually come with an installer, which makes it a lot easier to get the mod put in. However, some of them don't have an installer and you don't need to use that, you just copy and paste the files. All you do is just read the file or the name of the folder and you kind of just copy and paste that folder here and there. There are servers for 7 Days to Die that you can technically join if you want to join the servers because they have public servers and stuff like that. One of them I currently have added to my favorites list. No idea if it's still on there. But it's a general public server. You can join it, and they have modded the inventory slots, which I think you get about 40 or 50 of them. Now, you need a wired network connection if you want to play on that server, because if your network connection is really bad or you're going off of Wi-Fi, well, you can expect to get thrown out of that server within at least a few minutes tops. Because the anti-cheat service software that comes with the game will think you're trying to cheat the game online, and it'll kick you out of the server automatically. And in order to get onto some of these servers in 7 Days to Die, Easy Anti-Cheat has to be activated. Of course, you can bypass Easy Anti-Cheat with some of the servers, but I wouldn't recommend you cheat your way onto servers and stuff like that, because then you can get server and IP ban. Getting an IP ban is sort of like getting permanently banned from the server, and then your name or nickname that you used, you know, with Steam, can also get you blacklisted from other in-game servers that are found online. So, you know, your name will be added to that along with your IP address. So getting blacklisted from one server could get you IP banned by other servers. Simply because it's associated with each other, or the owners know each other, they'll add your name to that list and your IP address as well. When you join a server, you should know that your IP address will be visible to the server owner. So technically they can also ban you from rejoining at their own sole discretion. In some cases, they'll message you on Steam and they'll ask you if you're trying to hack into the server or cheat, you know, like stuff from the server. You could tell them you're playing on Wi-Fi, which is literally, if you are playing on Wi-Fi, you can tell them the truth and see if they believe you. Odds are they might not, and still ban you even if you are telling the truth. Some servers are like what you call whitelisted servers, and they're very strict on their code of conduct when it comes to players who play with Wi-Fi. And they don't care if you're playing on Wi-Fi or not, if you're lagging the server or you're messing it up, or they, you know, they have reason to believe you're trying to cheat items in order to have like, personal gains and stuff like that, or use network exploits in order to win in PvP. They will kick you out. It'll be a permanent server ban. And any other servers from their whitelisted server system that they own will also IP ban you. So that's another thing you should keep in mind. It's the same thing with Minecraft. I used to join the online servers of Minecraft, and believe me, those were really fun servers. I used to join them and kind of pretty much just like host it online myself, playing it. Oh, this is a built-in feral. Been to this building in a minute. Looks like the police car is locked, so I guess it didn't have lockpicks when I came to this building. I could be thinking of a different town, though. Sweet. Oh, he's got a reload right there. Refresh on ammo. And some first aid. Okay, got all that. But yeah, it's kind of what I learned. I forgot what it was called, but I think it was Hypixel. I used to play on there. There was also a time where I used to play Roblox too, believe it or not. Now, as Roblox got older, you know, so did I, but Roblox was pretty fun too. Yeah, I've had my Roblox account banned before, and it was because they suspected me of suspiciously buying Robux using a unapproved debit card. Basically, you know, they thought I was stealing money out of somebody else's debit card, and I ended up in a long conversation with the administrators, and they said, well, they already banned my account, and it was deleted. I had to start all over again. So I was like, roughly on Robux and Roblox related content, that was like 60 bucks right there down the drain. I was like, the most I'm ever gonna spend on a game would be tops $120. Would be the most I'd ever spend on a game. And that's just like games in short term for like short term use. And then you got long term, which I can tell you with War Thunder, it's long term. And it's mostly because I've been around since like, you know, the shitty graphics days before any kind of idea of high definition updates. Now, when it came to War Thunder, I did have problems with people and stuff like that on War Thunder. And it was just like an abundant issue I did experience with War Thunder, including covering new content, where I'd be covering content and then I'd have issues with live streaming covering brand new releases of content, which also included showcasing new armored vehicles I got access to, and pretty much went through the whole fiery loops of research and everything. And, you know, I had a small issue at one point where another channel kept reporting my live stream for copying supposedly their content. That was actually a real issue that happened. Someone kept flagging my content as either inappropriate or not within the confines of their liking. Somebody copyright striked a video I made, which was literally something that happened periodically, where one person periodically kept copyright striking my videos. And I got tired of appealing it with Google, and I simply stated, if this individual copyright strikes this next video I upload, then you should uncopyright strike all the rest of the videos they copyright strike, because there's no way that we're uploading the same content. I said everybody has their own opinion of how tanks and the value of the vehicles are. If you play War Thunder and you like playing the game, stuff like that, there's a couple of things that I can basically tell you right off the bat. Now, they got, straight up right off the bat, I can tell you 2 vehicles that are worth it if you're like let's say you like the Russian tech tree. I would recommend buying the KA-52 so that way you could speed up your helicopter research in War Thunder. If you like playing tanks, if you want to buy premium and stuff like that, you can go straight up to rank 7, which I think as high as it goes right now is I think rank 7. You can go up to rank 7 and immediately buy the T-72 T-Rums, or Terms T model. And that one comes with quite a few advantages, including optical electrical equipment that comes with it, a decent level of ERA, a decent level of armor-piercing fin stabilized rounds, pretty top-notch armor-piercing fin stabilized round. The only difference is it's a T-72, so your reverse gear is pretty much at 3 miles an hour, so you gotta learn how to play like an alligator. Alligators don't pull out fast from the water. It's kind of a fact. Alligators are fast-moving predators when climbing or moving towards a predator, but the retreat usually isn't within that category. So in perspective, would I recommend T-72 T-Rums, Terms T model? Yeah, I'd recommend it if you knew how to use the T-72 series. If you're not familiar with any of the T-72 series, I wouldn't recommend buying that tank, because if you're unfamiliar with the ERA and the defensive characteristics of that vehicle, you're going to have a really bad time, and you're going to say the game sucks right off the bat. If you want to dive into like more arcade-like action, sort of like mini tank madness, you know, they have some decent low tier, like, they have pretty decent low tier tanks. You know, if you want, you can get the Russian starter pack. It's $5. You get, I think, 15 days premium account or something like that. You get 15 days or 7 days premium or something like that. And with that premium tank that you have for rank 1, the starter packs are always a good way to introduce yourself with decent stuff. So that's like the best I could put right there for that info. Starter packs are pretty good. It's like guaranteed to like give you a leveled playing field, and then you could get a feel for everything. Now, would I recommend the IS tanks? Well, yeah, when it comes to the IS-2, I'd recommend it. The IS-2 is a decent research vehicle, so if you're interested in using the IS-2 heavy tank, I'd recommend it simply because of how large the bullet is of the weapon, and high explosive rounds are going to be your friends. Now, they have the AC shell, but it's actually armor-piercing ballistic capped ballistic or whatever, APCBC, and it's pretty good. The KB2 has a astonishing reload rate of 33 seconds or something like that with an aced crew. So if you're going to use the KV2, it's pretty good. The IS-2 would get like a 16.5 reload, I think, with an aced crew as well. The IS-3, it's got decent protection. It's an all-rounder vehicle. But the T10M would be your best all-rounder. Now, there were some stuff inside of the game that I do remember, including with this game, 7 Days to Die. There were some discontinued items. Now, with 7 Days to Die lore, there was a couple of weapons that were discontinued in total. There used to be more weapons added to the game, believe it or not. There used to be a lot of weapons added to the game. And for anyone who doesn't really understand or know, there was a point in time where originally, and I'll state this to you, originally the pipe pistol, the pipe machine gun, the pipe shotgun, the pipe rifle, all that stuff originally was not even supposed to make it beyond the testing alpha state that it was originally in, and it wasn't even supposed to, like, it was in the beta area where it was for beta testing, also known as the unstable builds, which are usually classified as betas. So all the pipe weapons you see and stuff like that, those weren't even supposed to be in the game. So if you're wondering, all pipe weapons that were in the game weren't supposed to be in the game no more. So that's another little fun fact. And I remember this because, like, it was kind of weird, but I remember it pretty thoroughly. Originally, the developers of the game didn't want to have the pipe machine gun or pipe rifle or any pipe-based weapons because, believe it or not, like, once you got the pipe machine gun level 5, it was like the most overpowered machine gun in the game. Even though it had a low damage, the pipe machine gun originally used to hold, if I wasn't mistaken, it was capable of getting the drum magazine attachment. So with the drum mag mod, it was like, pretty much like you didn't really need any other machine gun after that. And it was pretty cool and overpowered originally. It had a lot of firepower to offer very early on in the game. And that was kind of one of the main reasons why they wanted to subtract the pipe machine gun from the game and all pipe-based weapons. Because with the right amount of mods, or enough mods applied to them, they were kind of like a force to be reckoned with. And it really was a force to be reckoned with. All pipe-based machinery or weaponry originally used to hold, I think, 4 mods, but I think they dialed it back to 3. Because with 4 open modification slots, the pipe weapons were kind of OP. because you could really boost up that damage. Even if the mod didn't really help with the weapon's general characteristics, just having a mod installed that didn't really have much of a beneficial value towards it made it sort of deadly. So you could kind of be running around with the pipe shotgun. Have your freaking, you know, have your perk with the shotgun maxed out. Basically hobo with a shotgun. Have that fully maxed out. Sort of just run around one-shotting enemies with the pipe shotgun. It had a ludicrous amount of firepower originally, and it could be pushed up there to be on par with the pump-action shotgun. And that's like pump-action shotgun stock damage. But nowadays, when you break down pipe weaponry and how it actually levels out, and how they got the workaround with the pipe weaponry in 7 Days to Die was by limiting its damage. So whenever you add a modification to the gun, its damage would only go up by like maybe 1.2 damage and 0.5 and 0.7 depending on modification. Each modification had a script written on it indicating what would be the max base damage or increase in base damage that could be implemented if it was specifically tied to pipe weapons, like the pipe pistol, shotgun, rifle, and machine gun. And there was like a literal max damage that could be applied. The pipe rifle already did of a base damage anywhere between 47 and 77, I think being the maximum I think I've ever achieved with it. That would be on par with the lever action rifle stock damage, but it wouldn't exactly be entirely on par with it, considering that you had to reload every single round, so it was like one in the chamber. You were basically Call of Duty, you know, Black Ops 1, one in the chamber, or, you know, when one in the chamber became a thing in Call of Duty, so you were essentially reloading one round at a time. But for any kind of perks that helped with reloading, it pretty much dwindled that amount of time that you had to spend reloading it, and again, made it overpowered. Originally, the perk associated with reloading originally made it very OP whenever you reloaded your weapons. But if you look at your perks, if you look at the perks under the skill tree, which I think is under agility, and let's see, is it agility or is it this one? It's somewhere here. I forgot what it is. It's run and gun. Originally, it used to be a 50% boost to your reloading with run and gun. It says you're now a deadly trigger man, have mastered the art of run and gun. Hip fire accuracy is improved by 25%, have no movement penalty, but it also used to increase your ability to reload the firearm while you were in movement. Now, knowing this little bit of information may actually help you. Now, pay attention to this. You see the Deadeye perk where it states right here, rifles do 50% more damage, you aim 60% faster, and you reload 30% faster. So how they limited the ability of reloading your weapons was by changing the original reload perk, which was run and gun, which originally, if I'm not mistaken, used to change your ability and stats associated with reloading your guns faster. Now, this was a very helpful perk, and then there were several name changes to a lot of particular perks that they had in there. The game underwent numerous name changes with perks. Some of them actually had different names. Some of the perks had official name changes because of the confusion. And during updates, I believe a total of 12 perks underwent a name change. So the game underwent numerous perk name changes, and this was just so it could be adequate with functionality with the game itself. Now, some of the perks, like, I forgot what it's called, but associated with one of the updates, they had to change some of the perk names because people were, I guess, complaining or whatever. And I forgot what it was called, but I believe it was under Fortitude. Or was it under Strength? I think it was Strength. I know Pack Mule was Pack Mule. Just needed to cap that dude right there, because I knew he wasn't going to let me chill. Had to light him up. Didn't have a choice. Alright, now what was it doing? It's somewhere around here. Because the Penetrator, the Animal Tracker, the Infiltrator, these were actually decent skills and perks to like have, just on par. The Infiltrator allows you to do that. When you get the Infiltrator level 3, you can pick up landmines that have already been pre-laid, like leftover landmines in the wasteland, or landmines that are found at a military installation. You know, the ones that the army sets up or jerry rigs together. You can also disarm traps with certain perks. Now I'm trying to figure it out. Where was it? It's not well insulated of the Huntsman. It's not running gun, it's not light armor. Hidden Strike was actually... Hidden Strike will probably be your best thing if you're into like sitting in the dark and hiding somewheres. From the Shadows perk actually does you a lot better. And it does increase your ability to hide. It muffles your searches. So let's say you're searching around and going through a bunch of cupboards and everything. It muffles that sound by 50% because you mastered the art of silence, essentially. Deep Cuts is great if you like playing with knives. Archery is great if you like using bows to raid buildings. Now it's not on here no more, the perk, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe it was listed under Fortitude, and it was a combat perk. But yeah, the name of that perk was originally called Sexual Tyrannosaur, and that was the name of it. You have the stamina regenerating properties, or whatever, like, it would regenerate your properties of, like, not only, like, generalized functions like that, but it would also allow you to recover your stamina much faster, whether you're in combat or exiting combat. It just made it really easy to like regain your stamina. But it's right here. It originally used to be for running, so it only applied to running, the Sexual Tyrannosaur perk. Running and fighting with clubs. And that was about it. So the perk only applied originally to clubs and running. So if you were clubbing an enemy to death, you would be able to recover your stamina quickly after running, and it would last for 30 seconds with a 30% increase or so. After sprinting, your stamina would increase. But it would also increase your movement speed by, I think it was 25% the most. But it was a little weird. The perk got pulled away from the game because I guess it imbalanced the structure of how the game was supposed to be played or something. But I knew the game had renamed it. The developers renamed the perk, and then eventually I believe the perk got removed all in general. And then they put it back in the game, but not under the same name. And I believe today that perk is just called Roll 1 Cardio. So I guess that would be the name of the perk today. Just Roll 1 Cardio. That's it. Would I recommend that you have at least the ability to sprint for your life down the street? Yeah, I actually would. Now, if you're like me, sprinting down a street can be sort of a task. Now, I'm not saying I'm fat and overweight, but sometimes I just don't have it in me to go running around like I used to. But that's mostly a concept of the mind. When you feel like you can't go running or doing things, it's like a heavy concept of the human mind. And it's mostly applied to the human psyche. So, for me, it's sort of a psychological thing as to why I don't like sprint or run or really go outside no more. Sort of like over the years, I found that going outside was sort of boring and annoying. And it was mostly because I really don't have anyone to talk to. Or really any friends. Well, at that given point, to be honest. Most of my other relatives, they like have so many friends and they talk to all of them and they hang out with them. You know, they got mostly what you would call a social life. And, you know, then there's me, and, well, you know, like, as I was growing up, I was always told, why do you play games so much? And my stepdad would always ask me, how can you play games so much? Why don't you go outside and hang out with people, your friends? And I would just look at him like, this is like when I was younger, I used to look at my stepdad like he was crazy when he would tell me to go outside and go play, because he would just see me sitting there playing video games and not even caring about whatever is going on outside of the room. Or like whatever happened. You know, I had friends for like a good year at school and then I just stopped giving a crap. Because, I don't know, I guess I got tired of them, you know, tired of them in general, but it wasn't because they dumped their purse on me or whatever and just let it all hang out. It was just something a little more complicated. And considering I already had my own turmoil in life, I kind of didn't want to pile on any more turmoil. And I kind of explained that to him. I didn't want to pile on any more turmoil to my own personal life or carry someone else's payload. And it is true, I didn't really want to carry anyone else's payload. I already had a large enough payload already on my shoulders with certain responsibilities I technically have. And well, these responsibilities will continue to follow me until the day I'm gone. So, I have like uniquely a massive amount of responsibilities that are a little bit over a lot of people's heads. And this usually goes over my head too when I actually look at it again. Like, looking at it on paper makes it look real easy, but whenever I honestly break it all down and then I look at it in like a first-person perspective rather than looking at a third-person perspective, like, I genuinely grasp the entirety of the severity of screwing up when it comes to that particular matter. So, you know, there's like heavier consequences beyond normal human comprehension with my personal responsibilities versus everyone else's idea, you know, of their own ideological responsibilities. So, you know, you could be the police or the FBI and you could be telling me, you could be screaming at me to put my hands up all you want, and I'm just going to tell you, I really don't care what you have to say. My responsibilities are more important than your ideals. And, you know, I'll throw it at their face like that, like my responsibilities outweigh your idea of putting my hands up. And I have said that before to somebody. And then it's like, what? You act like you're going to save the world. And I said, the world's kind of hanging by a thread. And it's actually a fact. And when I say that the world is hanging by a thread, I genuinely mean the world is hanging by a thread. So, you know, if you think your life isn't hanging in the balance, kinda is. Now, could I explain how everyone's existence hangs in a balance? I'm not sure that humans can actually comprehend the exact function of how that roughly would translate into. Genuinely, it's just a little bit complicated. Sometimes I find it hard to wrap my own head around it. But you get responsibilities as you grow up, and as you grow old, it continues to follow you, sort of like a fart in an elevator. I figured I'd open this. Ah, come on, you fathead prick. Hey, where you going, fatty? I didn't dismiss you. That fathead moron thought he could run away. But yeah, again. The best description I could basically give you is that the next few decisions that everyone on Earth makes within the next freaking, well, actually, it's likely within less than 1 year now. But the decisions you make within the next less than 1 year can and will determine the final end result of a lot of And the only thing I can say is if you think you're the only thing floating in space, then you're more ignorant than I thought. So don't be ignorant and be aware of your surroundings. Clipped him. That's good. Again, you're not the only thing floating in orbit out here in space. You are not the only thing out here. If you believe you're the most special thing in the universe, get in line, because there are other things out here that believe the same thing. So, you know, don't get mad if I tell it to you like that. I'm going to tell it to you like how it is. If you think you're the ultimate life form, or you think that, you know, you're God's favorite or whatever, there are other species out there that believe that they're in his favor as well. So, you know, I could say spare yourself the embarrassment because, again, you're not the only thing floating out here. And it has been proven. Humans are not the only species floating out here. In fact, our solar system is quite alive. The only difference is that your solar system, with the species that live in it, they want absolutely nothing to do with you. Humans aren't exactly friendly towards other species. And the way humans handle businesses, or business in general, with another species would be like trying to annihilate it. And I'm not saying those of you who are intellectually intact are the type to go, oh, well, this is an alien species, they don't got rights and stuff like that. And, you know, roughly just stating it out there. There are those of you who have common sense and are not like that, and then there are those who are, and I will quote unquote state this, there are those who are incredibly or heavily religious or scared of aliens because they believe they're going to get probed. Which is a heavily misguided misconception of how foreign species act with individuals. They're a lot smarter than you think, and they're not really going to get any information putting something in your, well, Let's just call it a parking space. They're not going to find anything they've never seen before by probing your parking space. Seriously. They're not going to find anything of use there. They're not going to find anything interesting. So if you think, oh my god, well they just want to get in. Nope. That's not it. All it takes is one individual to make one stupid mistake and then it becomes a thing. So, that much I can tell you. Not every species is highly intelligent or knows how to interact with another species. So, if you're a human, which I know most of you who tune in are humans, the best thing I can say is, don't be racist. And don't assume because they're of another species that they want to know what's happening backstairs or back door or whatever. Nobody wants to know. Seriously, nobody wants to know. And I'm pretty sure aliens don't want to know either. Just like that song. You don't want to know? No, no, no. Nobody knows. I can't even remember all of it, but I just remember that part. The way I feel about you, you don't want to know. No, no, no. Nobody knows. Which I actually have that song sitting on my computer somewheres. I could play it. It's not a bad song. I used to listen to that song with this one girl when I was younger. Forgot her name, but I still remember what she looked like. She was cute. Oh. I used to listen to that song. Hold on. I'll do that. Then we'll repair it. Oh, is that all I went through the trouble for? Just to get a single box of whatever? Oh man, dude, betrayed by your lower intelligence. Boink. Boink. Something else I want to point out. Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought already. Bam! But yeah, did you just listen to that song with that girl? I just can't remember her name. Okay, I blew out that girl's backside. Bam, phrasing. watching that movie Moana. That wasn't that bad either. What was I gonna say? Let's get off my truck. Oh, mind you, when this game leaves the alpha updates and leaves the alpha and officially goes into official launch platform, this vehicle will no longer be available, if I'm not mistaken. It's getting replaced. So there's also that sad event that'll be happening. The vehicle is going to get replaced entirely. So there's that too. The vehicle itself gets entirely replaced by something more efficient. It's going to be kind of a bummer when you really break it all down. You know, the vehicle gets replaced entirely. Stuff ends up different. You don't have everything you want. It's a little weird, but, you know, again, take good with the bad. You don't have to necessarily take everything with a grain of salt when you really break it all down. You know, there's going to be some positive stuff involving the outcome. There's going to be a user interface overhaul involving the game. So the UI is going to be overhauled. Now, during the time and during pandemic and after pandemic and everything that happened and occurred within the United States, some members of the company involving 7 Days to Die did pass on, and some did not. There was also a loss of a developer who was working on the game, and this guy developed the actual level up system, and that member who developed the level up system for 7 Days to Die had actually passed away. And this wasn't during the pandemic, this was after. So the loss of that individual's life is like losing a major piece of your company, because without that information that that individual had and contained inside of his head, and their unfinished brand new leveling up complex, which was supposed to be completed but unfortunately could not be, is now sitting in limbo. So for those of you who do know, the guy that created the level up complex originally involved in the game has passed on. And this individual's recent passing did put a damper and slowed down the general release of the official release of 7 Days to Die, because the person had passed on, so now someone else must carry the torch on how they believe or thought that the level up system, which is also going to change as well. And yes, I know I said level up quite a bit, but that's a major component of the 7 Days to Die franchise, is leveling up in the game. How many points you should get for leveling up 10 levels, how many you should have abundantly available as like an expenditure of a resource. Leveling up allows you to add more attributes and skill points to the tech tree for your own personal use or function, and it generally just benefits the player altogether. The best way I could describe it is that as long as you have perks and points and stuff like that to add on to, you have almost nothing to fear. It's just simply put that way. You have nothing to fear as long as you have plenty of skill points to spare over. And, well, I can wholeheartedly say that one right there. As long as you got your skill points allocated to where you want it to be, you're going to be fine. And you don't have to worry about anything major. Once it starts to dial in, you kind of got to really start thinking about it once you get past level 5. Where do you want to dial in your points? because you don't want to be slow and you want to have as much movement as possible early on in the game, and you want to be able to cover as much material as you can. And when I say cover as much material, I'm basically stating you want to be able to carry as many things as you can, because raking in the dukes is kind of how you get the game going in. So you can rake in some of those Duke's Casino coins in high quantity in the beginning, because you're bringing in so much loot, scrap polymers, and stuff you're bringing in. It makes it easier for you to carry out throughout the game, making sales to the individuals who run like what is known as Trader Joe's. You run in that stuff, and these individuals also grant you XP for bringing in material. So it also benefits you to bring in material as well. So I need, for bar brawling, I need 4 and 5, and I can take a look in here right now at bar brawling if there is any. Already got maxed out and batter up. Ranger's Guide 6, Magnum Enforcer 6. I mean, they got maxed out Magnum Enforcer. No, I did. Lucky Looter needs number 4. The Hunter's Journal 6 is already covered. I think a lot of these books I have in here are actually already covered. The Greatest Heist Volume 1. Already got Shotgun Weekly, Batter Up 5, Shotgun Messiah level 5. I've already completed Shotgun Messiah. Batter Up is complete, so Art of Mining, Automatic Handgun, Batter Up, Fireman's Almanac, Greatest Heist is complete, Magnum Enforcer complete, Needle and Thread, Night Stalker, Pistol Pete, and Shotgun Messiah are complete. So the only books I need are from Sniper, Spear Hunter, Urban Combat, Bar Brawling, Lucky Looter, and Hunter's Journal. These are the only ones I need books from, including Ranger's Guide to Archery. So anything that's not Urban Combat, Spear Hunter, and Sniper are books that will be discarded. Nope. Lucky Looter 6. What book do I need for Lucky Looter? I need number 4. And Lucky Looter is literally that guy. It's basically a leprechaun. And that is a leprechaun. And 2 pots of gold. So it's a bit stereotypical. Ranger's Guide to Archery, Volume 6. Already completed that. Don't need Night Stalker. Don't need Batter Up. Shotgun Messiah 5 and 7 already completed. We'll take a look at Ranger's Guide. I need 2 and 7. Exploding arrows. Okay, so everything here officially can basically go to the trash. Wasteland Treasures. I believe I completed that one already. Yeah, it's already maxed out. Don't need any of that. Oh, there you go. The Steel Knuckles. Power damage does 47.8. Melee attacks on standard attacks does nearly 30. It's literally just basically a Swiss Army knife, corkscrew, a pocket knife blade, and a scissor blade welded to the front of some standard brass knuckles. Which reminds me, the brass knuckles are actually a weapon you can make in the game too. Look under weapons, you should be able to see it right here. It's called iron knuckles, but technically brass. Forged iron, mechanical parts, leather, and duct tape. Now, any items you find that are level 6 you want to keep, because all level 6 based items sell for more than their level 5 counterparts. sells better. Like this is a level 6 Magnum. Would you keep it early on in the game? The answer is yes. If you found a level 6 revolver, known as a 44 Magnum, you should keep it. It'll benefit you in the long run. Find a level 6 pistol early on in the game if you're lucky, or have an insane amount of luck. Sure, keep it. It'll be your best friend. Now, helpful little facts about the game is that every now and then, whenever you start a new file, or decide to run a new file in the game, you run a slim chance at the beginning that the trader themselves will have a level 6 weapon on them at the beginning. The best thing I could state is that if you're gonna play the game and you're gonna do whatever, you should keep in mind that there's a slim chance that the person who's gonna be there selling weapons, loot items, etc., you should keep in mind that they themselves will likely be in possession of specified things, which also include that particular type of material. When it comes to that material, you want to make sure that if you're looting around or you're running around with your little stone axe, if you're harvesting scrap polymers, if you manage to harvest about 1,000 scrap polymers, it sells the most, for like the most. So if you're into getting quick amount of Duke's Casino coins, you can manage to harvest 1,000 of those scrap polymers, you have a lot of money on hand. 6,000 freaking brass, roughly, when you get the, you know, better salesman perk, as they would call it. Like, I forgot what it's called, but it's like right here. It's under intellect. And your better barter gives you a 25% better buying and selling deal to traders. That only adds 25%. If your rough estimate for 3,600 or 3,359, and that's only because I'm holding the Magnum. Now let's get back to holding a melee weapon. You'll see real value. It's 3,240 average. So, with 3,240 Duke's Casino coins being the base value, after the 25% boost on selling, because it does work like that when selling to traders. So you got 3,240. 3,240, and then you minus 25% out of that cut. Roughly, at the beginning, if you manage to collect 6,000 brass, the amount it would sell for roughly would be 2,430 instead of 3,240 that you see listed here. That 25% boost adds on quite a bit on the total resale value of the brass. Would I recommend collecting brass early on? Yeah, I'd recommend it. I'd recommend you collect brass and scrap polymers and whatever else you can collect early on. Of course, paper won't sell for much, but paper's pretty common, so collecting everything that you can in the beginning will work out in your benefit if you're trying to get money real quick. If you see that the first trader you're working with and whatever has an abundant availability of like a level 3 or a level 5 weapon, you want to work on getting that level 5 weapon worked out real quick and getting all the Duke's Casino coins you can early on. That level 4 or 5 weapon will benefit you greatly. Now I say get a weapon that fires bullets, because the reason why is because as long as you have something that uses ammunition,
You again.
there would be more
I'm
probability
starting
of
to think
finding
you like
the ammo.
Dr. Jen.
And with this right here, you see she's got more high-powered ammunition, more magnum ammo, a single rocket frag ammunition, some frag grenades. She's got a tactical assault rifle. So there's a pretty good chance in the beginning this one the pump action shotgun, the lever action rifle, and the tactical assault rifle can pop up in the beginning. Then there's a pretty good chance you'll land a level 4 machete early on, or a level 6, steel sledgehammer.
Nothing this time?
But it all really depends. So, keep that in mind. It's all pretty spot on at times. I need to check what time it is, 'cause I'm supposed to be eating some kind of spaghetti or something like that. I went and got out all that spaghetti sauce and everything. I don't even know how long I've been streaming either. Oh, that's a little awkward too. I left Tam by herself. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. I'm sure her fans, her little fan club, will carry her.
Thanks for the business. We're open from dawn to dusk.
Now in the future update, it is stated that 7 Days to Die will be way harder, so if you're going to play the new update they plan to release when the game is under official release, it should be significantly harder according to the developers, as they reworked all the zombies' mapping, sense of skills, and have changed quite a bit of the game significantly. So it may become a lot harder to survive. We'll pick up more high-powered ammunition. Another rocket launcher. Ammunition. We'll buy some frag grenades. Because why not? And the AP ammunition. $799 to grab that.
Thanks for letting me take care of you. And tell your friends.
Don't got enough for that, but let's take a look inside the car. Nothing left, no more loot. Okay, roughly estimated. What else to do? Right now, all I've been really doing is biding my time for the developers to finally release the official release of the game, which is supposed to be either a 10 or 25 gigabyte update, which is the expected amount of storage space that is required. I think it was 10 or 25 gigs, or is it 30 or 64 gigs? I don't know, I think the update was supposed to be pretty massive. Anyways, I have no idea how long I've been playing this game. I don't even know when I started originally. I don't know if anybody's going to tune in to me if I just start watching Vanos Gaming or anybody else, but I also don't want to put their content on my stream, because then by putting the content directly onto my stream, I'm technically stealing their content, therefore it would be like that. And I intend to eat dinner and then try to get some rest. But I'm feeling wired again, like I just gained a bunch of energy. But I know it's not normal, so it's a bit abnormal right now. Give me a second while I examine to see how long I've actually been going. I'll be going for like an hour and 40 minutes already, and I believe dinner's pretty much ready. So, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, don't feel shy, and say hello. Talking with viewers is another thing. Sometimes the messages don't work whenever I look at the chat section. So sometimes I cannot see your messages even if I update or refresh the chat, or refresh my browser or refresh my cell phone or the app. Sometimes I can't see the chat. So it's just like putting it on par. Thanks for tuning in to Wobbly Rick playing some 7 Days to Die. And I gotta go eat dinner with beans. It's beans tonight. And assuming they didn't mess up the spaghetti or overcooked it, it'll be beans with spaghetti and hopefully sauce. So, you guys have a great night. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Love you guys. And goodbye. Peace out.